Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Georgia for those of you that are new to my space. I am a kindergarten / prep teacher, whatever you'd like to call it. I'm in Victoria, Australia, and I'm really excited today to share a new resource with you that I have received from Summer from Stay Classy Classrooms, which is a hundreds board, and I'm so excited. I'm going to share 5 different ways that you can use your hundreds board in your kindergarten or grade 1, even grade 2 classroom, depending on your learners. So I'll flip you around, show you the resource, and then we'll get started. So first of all, the resource is this beautiful acrylic hundreds boards, and you're getting the nice reflection of the playground out there. And so there's the hundreds board, and then I was lucky enough to be gifted 2 different colored chips. My understanding is you can only order them in one color, but I have asked Summer about whether you can order the second color because some of the games work beautifully if you've got 2 colors. So I've just got the orange in the number chips. So you can see there I've got 35, 63. So I've got every number from 1 to 100 in the orange chips. Ooh, there we go. And then I also have this really cool like purple color that's kind of like that. Yeah, so then I've got all the numbers from 1 to 100 in the purple color as well, which you can see in there like that. So it's kind of, yeah, see through. It's really cool. So I will flip you around to show you the different games that I have, but basically I've got 5 different activities that you can do with your juniors with this hundreds board, and you can use my code PrepG10 at Stay Classy Classrooms for 10% off. So my first activity is to either divvy out one set of numbers between your 2 players or 3 players or 4 players, however many you have, or you can simply leave them in the bag and it's just a bit of a lucky dip. So what you can do is, it's really simple to be perfect for number sense for your sort of kindergartners that are getting ready to work on numbers to 100. Their job is to simply find where 51 would go on the hundreds chart and place it down. To make it this easier, you could already have set up some numbers on the board so they have a little bit of guidance, but for more of a challenge, you could get the kids to just start straight away. So I've got 51, so depending on their ability, they might count by tens or they might just work it out for themselves. But basically, they would find where 51 goes, so 51 might go here. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Actually, no, it needs to go here. And then it would be the next person's turn. And they would just keep working as a team to try and get all of their numbers on the board. Another way that you could play that game is by ordering 200s boards so that you get 2 different colours of the number chips, and then just using one board but both colours, and each player has a colour. So I'm orange and my partner is purple, and we are aiming to get 4 in a row of our colour. So we're trying to pick out each colour, and maybe it could be that you could add rules, things like if I've put 51 down but then my opponent pulls out a 51 in their colour, they can kick me off and put theirs there to try and get their 4 in a row. So there's plenty you can do there, and it's just simply the kids just getting used to where the numbers go on the hundreds board and using place value and number patterns to work that out. The next game might be slightly tricky for the beginning of kindergarten or prep foundation, but just because it involves some reading, but you could definitely get it happening in the second half of the year, and for sure with your grade 1s. This activity is actually from Wild About Firsties, and I'm just using my Stay Classy hundreds board and my Wild About Firsty cards to play the game. So there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could start with all of the chips on the hundreds board already down, so put all the numbers out on the board and then play the game, or you can do the opposite and have all the numbers on the outside of the board and the kids are putting them onto the board. So basically, Wild About Firsties have this resource, where it's got different sort of number puzzles, I guess. So this is one of the cards here. Ooh, focusing. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. This is one of the cards here, and it says find the number that is 10 more than 84. So they've got to think about it. What's 10 more than 84? 94. And then find it on the hundreds chart and either take it off or find it on the outside of the hundreds chart and add it on. So depending on how you're playing the game. Now, if you wanted some competitive aspect to this, which obviously isn't necessary, but you can add it in if you like, you might use different colored chips again, and so they're trying to get 4 in a row, or they're trying to take them off and have a total of 5 or something like that. But it's just a really good way for them to be practicing those skills. The best thing about the Wild About Firsties resource is that she has them written in about 4 or 5 different ways. So there's find the number that is 10 more than 84. Then there's find the number that is 1 more than 17 as well. And then the last one that I have here is find the number that has 1, 10 and 5, 1. So a bit of a place value activity there, which is perfect for your sort of kinder kids that are just establishing their place value skills. Some of the other ones are find a number that is greater than 5 and less than 10. So finding a number in between there, that's a little bit more open-ended, which is awesome because it gives them more than one answer. And find a number that is 10 less than 24, so the opposite from before. So yeah, you can do that either way. They can lucky dip these out of a jar and then just participate until they've finished all the cards. The next game involves using either 10-sided dice or playing cards, whichever you prefer. I personally love the 10-sided dice. So it's going to be a bit of a place value game again. So I will flip around and show you how I would recommend that you play this game. But basically the kids are going to roll the two 10-sided dice and decide which number they want to make out of them. So if they roll a 4 and a 7, they're going to decide whether they want to make it 47 or 74. And then whichever number they choose, they'll get their coloured chip and pop it onto the board where it goes. And once again, they can be trying to get, 4 in a row, or that could be in a diagonal or horizontal or vertical. It's just working on their place value skills. So I'll flip around and show you how to play that game. Okay, so basically I have rolled my dice already. I've rolled a 5 and an 8, so I get to make the choice. Do I want to make it 85 or 58? I've decided to make it 58, so I find my 58 chip and then I work out where it goes on the chart. Now again, to make this slightly easier for students, you could already have some numbers placed on the chart so that they can find it that little bit easier. Or you can have a clear board and just start fresh. So the students will then work out where to put their chip. And again, you can only buy these coloured chips from Stay Classy Classrooms with with one colour chips, but if you buy 2 boards, then you get a second colour, and you could then just use the one board for this particular game. So they're going to put their 58 chip down, so 10, 20, 30, 40, and then we would go 50 and then up to 58 there, and then it would be my friend's turn to roll. So they would roll their dice. I've rolled a 7 and a 3, so I would decide whether I make that 73 or 37. Then I would look for it. Now obviously, to make this a little bit easier on the kids, you would already have all of these laid out for them. They might even like to have them in some sort of order if that's what they choose, or it could be random again, just to help them with quick recognition of numbers. So I'll just have a look here and see if I can find 73 or 37 really quickly. But again, super easy way to just be recognizing numbers and pulling them together from pulling together place value, flipping the digits around to make a different number. They might be going for the biggest number. That could be one of the rules of the game, is they've got to make the biggest number that they can with their 2 digits. So once you've found the chip, then say it was actually 74, then they would add that onto their board. So they would come down here, add it on, 71, 72, 73, 74, and then they might be aiming to try and get, 3 in a row or 3 this way, and continuing on until the board is filled. So that's just a super easy place value game, doesn't involve much preparation, and all you really need is the 2 dice, or as I said, you could be flipping over playing cards to make your numbers. It should keep the kids engaged and excited to play. Another game that involves the dice would be Race to 100, which we've all played before, but there's a couple of different ways you could play it given the hundreds chart is an interactive hundreds chart. So the first thing you could do is just simply for kids at the beginning of prep or kindergarten, just roll the dice. They roll a number, they've rolled 8, so then they have to put the numbers on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in order at the top, and then it's the next person's turn. And whatever number they roll, they put that many on after that. So you could do that with just one set of coloured chips, and it's just working together to fill the hundreds chart, and that's how many you get to put down. That's one-to-one counting. It's finding them on the hundreds chart, placing them in their spot. The other thing that you could do is you could use the two coloured chips. So one person could use the orange roll. I've rolled an 8, I put my 8 out, and then it's my partner's turn. My partner rolls a 6, and she or he puts out the next 6 counters, but in their colour, and the first person to hit the 100 would win. So I'll flip around and show you how that game works as well. Okay, so for Race to 100, you could just roll a single 10-sided dice. I've rolled a 2, so then I would just go 1 and then 2, and then my partner would roll. Now my partner can either use same colour, or if I've got more, I can use a different colour. So I've rolled 8. So I'm now going to just simply add on the numbers until I get to 8. So 3, 4, I need to find 5, 6, 7, 8 in my colour, and then it would be the orange person's turn, so they would roll, and then they would continue on with 7 of their chips. Another way you could do this, it would be to roll 2 10-sided dice and add the numbers together, so just that added portion of addition. So add the 2 numbers together and then put the chips on. You could also multiply these as well. And the last thing that you could use this beautiful acrylic hundreds chart for is anything skip counting. So I'll flip around and show you how you could do that. There's a number of ways to do it. I've got a few ideas on how you could do it if you've only got the one set of coloured chips. Otherwise, if you've got multiple, you can do it that way. And there's so many different things you could do there. And you could even differentiate this all the way up through this middle and higher grades in primary school for multiplication, factors, multiples, all of that sort of stuff. So I will flip around and show you how I would use this for skip counting. So for skip counting, if you've got coloured chips in different colours, you can do it like this. So I've just replaced the orange 5 with the purple one, because if we're counting by 5s, and just continued on the whole chart. But if you don't have both colours, the other idea that I had was that you could, if you wanted to count by 5s and sort of learning about that, you could flip them over so that they're upside down, and then just leave the 5 and then flip these ones over, and then this one would obviously be the 10. So that's an option for if you don't have multiple colours. But you could do any skip counting patterns with these ones. You could do counting by 2s, counting by 5s, counting by 10s, counting by 3s, 6s, whatever you wanted to do, and just manipulate the board however it suits you. I hope that this video has helped you and given you some ideas on how you can use these beautiful acrylic boards from Stay Classy Classrooms. They are honestly such great quality. I love working with Summer. The chips are beautiful. The kids love them. I have so many of the acrylic resources now. I've got letters, I've got tens frames, I've got numbers, I've got the hundreds board, and I absolutely love using them. They're really great hands-on resource for the kids. Highly recommend. You can definitely use my discount code PREPG10 at Stay Classy Classrooms. And also, I would love to hear if you have any other ideas on how to use a hundreds chart in the classroom. Please add them in the comment below. Make sure you like and subscribe. I have some really exciting things coming up on my channel in the next few months, and some exciting news to announce as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.